Hello, I am Captain Clueless.
Captain Clueless.
Well, that was nifty and fun. Today, I am going to be talking about time management. And if I had my planner here, I would throw it, because that's effectively what happened this week. Oops. See, I was supposed to be writing everything down in it and planning my days so that I could use my time most effectively. But what happened is last Monday was Pioneer Day. I didn't have work and I wasn't really sure what to do, and so I was kind of like, well, maybe I should do this and this. Didn't really use my planner. And then the next day, on Tuesday, I planned out my day like I was supposed to, and then I left my planner at work. And so when I got home from work, I didn't know what I was supposed to do, because I obviously didn't care that much. And I've left my planner there at work every day this week. Literally only wrote down one day and didn't even do that one day. So I've got a lot to learn. When it got to be Thursday or Friday-ish, I was realizing that I had totally failed and I needed to learn some things about how to use time wisely before I could actually effectively do it, right? So I did some research, which mostly involved listening to a motivational podcast and remembering some other things that I had heard. So today I'm going to bring up 3 things that anybody can do / think about / have as a philosophy for life that will help them use their time most effectively. Number 1, schedule time to work. Don't let work schedule your time. If you schedule time to work, it means that the time is yours and you are taking a part of your life and dedicating it to work. But if it's the other way around, then work is taking a part of your life and whatever's left is your time, which I don't think that's a very valid thought, because that means when you're at work, you're not you, and that is so not true. So when you're at work, make sure that you're using your time to the best of your ability and trying to be more efficient, trying to improve yourself, because those things bring you better opportunities. So that is a big thing that can overarch an entire life, is just make sure that you are in charge of your time and not your boss. On the short term, day-to-day, something that I think everybody should do to help them use their time more effectively is realize that they have these 10-minute pockets of power. If you are using your time to its fullest, then you won't be spending time scrolling through Facebook, because you can waste hours doing that. But if you realize that you have these 10-minute windows, and in that 10-minute window you can accomplish so much. For example, today's intro sequence, that took me about 10 minutes to put together. I mean, I spent a lot more time tweaking it and things, but the basic idea, 10 minutes, done. And if I'd realized it was gonna not take that long, I would have done it sooner. Anyway, point is, 10 minutes, you've got how many 10-minute intervals in a day? A lot. Use them. I recently read a book called Rest: How to Get More Done by Working Less. In the introduction to this book, it talked about how different things are restful for different people. For example, some people are adrenaline junkies and they just love to go out and go skydiving and water skiing and rock climbing and all these crazy things, and that to them, even though it's a high intensity activity, it's restful to them. For me, it's more like singing, going on walks, something that's more introspective, something that allows me to think. For you, it might be something that's just talking with other people, being social. There's no limit to what it could be, but the point is, you can be resting and still be productive. And finally, on a long-term thing, thinking about time as a yearly thing, one thing that I heard on the podcast was the guy said, I have socks that are older than 5 years old. And he was saying that if you haven't started something now, and you're thinking, oh, but somebody else started 5 years ago, they're way ahead. I have socks that are older than 5 years, so it's not that much time. So if there's something you want to accomplish that you haven't been able to, that you've been thinking about doing for a long time, but somebody else has been doing it, and they've been doing it for a while, and they're doing a great job, you can be that person. You just got to give it time. It might take 5 years, whatever. Buy a new pair of socks, and when they're 5 years old, hopefully you're there. 3 things that you can do to improve your time while in this life. Just remember that your time works for you, that 10 minutes is just a pocket of power, and 5 years really isn't that long. This week I'm going to be working again on using my planner to make sure that I'm like scheduling time to do things that I need to do and leaving time for me to do things that are restful for me and enjoyable so that I don't go crazy, even though I already am crazy. I've started working on another music video. When it's done, I'll post it in the description and probably in the card, and it'll be on my other channel called the Fedora Duel. You can go check out my other video that I finished right there. My last week's video is right here, where I talked about confidence and how I wasn't actually that confident. And make sure you don't ever miss a week by clicking right here on the C, or you can click down there next to the little bell. You can click on the bell too, so you'll never miss a video, because I know they're so exciting and you love them so much. So I'm just gonna leave that with you. Captain Clueless out.